So it's been about 48 hours since the last time we talked about Dan Schneider here on the channel. And before anyone says it, no, I am not here to milk this extremely milkable and juicy old man. And since all of this has been blowing up because of the Dan Schneider interview and because of the Quiet on the Set TV show, and everyone has their eyes on Nickelodeon and their past, their extremely shady past, I've just been seeing tweet after tweet after tweet of new evidence of Dan Schneider being inappropriate. And we also have Josh being a douchebag to Drake Bell. It does seem like we're watching the empire that is Nickelodeon crumble. And yes, growing up, I was a Nick kid, okay? I was into iCarly, Drake and Josh, Big Time Rush, SpongeBob, and some other shows that I'm probably forgetting about. But for now, I want to focus on some very interesting clips that have been circulating over the last 48 hours. One of the most popular ones that I've seen has 7 million views.
Now look, honestly, in trying to figure out what I could say today about Miss Miranda for her birthday, I come to the conclusion that what you can say is, what can't you say? I mean, honest to God, I could go...
Nah. Hold on. Did you see the way he grabbed her? I want to say a lot of other things about Dan Schneider, but I don't want this video to be taken down. But just look at the way he grabbed her. Am I overreacting? Am I reaching? Am I becoming a Twitter user? Am I becoming that sensitive? It just looked kind of weird.
I come to the conclusion that what you can say is, what can't you say? I mean, honest to God, I could go on and on about all the wonderful qualities about Miranda, but I know time permits, and I will consolidate it to just this one thing. In all the years I've known Miranda, I guess 9 years now,
I'm cringing in real time. That's why I'm not saying much. And what is this pose that he loves? It feels like we're seconds away from a Dan Schneider takedown. This is some UFC shit. And if you watch the last video I did on him, and we took a look at some pictures he had, this is like his favorite pose. Wrap his big juicy arms around necks of his actors and actresses. I've seen some people saying it's a power move. I could see it being a power move, especially considering the way people talk about him. And later on in this video, we have a former Nickelodeon actor talking about his experience working with Dan Schneider. And this is not the first time he does this.
About Miranda, but I know time permits, and I will consolidate it to just this one thing. In all the years I've known Miranda, I guess 9 years now, she hasn't changed. Miranda hasn't changed one bit. All those awesome qualities that she had when she was 9 years old.
She looks uncomfortable. I'm just reading the comments right now. I want to get what people are thinking about. Once again, this is the Twitter audience, so some of them are a little bit more unhinged. Just want to put it out there. The way he quickly snatches her arm to get her in his space, this is horrifying. The second he started walking towards her, she was like, oh, please God, no. Imagine your boss doing this at work. It's not really helping his case. And then we have this video that I found, and it says, I'll never forget how Jerry, Spencer Shea, stepped in to push Dan Schneider away from her. In some of these tweets, there's definitely conspiracy theory vibes. Yeah, I think this is interesting to know. So here we have Spencer. It seems like Dan Schneider's once again going for the freshly turned 18-year-old Miranda Cosgrove. I'm not really into deep reading a lot of these conspiracy theories, but I could see this one. And you guys remember how I was talking about how there was this Nickelodeon actor who spoke out against Dan Schneider. So I'm looking at his catalog, his work at Zoe 101, and this tweet says, Jack, who played Mark on Zoe 101 and was a writer for Victorious and Sam & Cat, speaks out about his experiences working with Dan Schneider.
Oh boy, what a week, y'all. Let's talk about it. My name is Jack. I was a child actor on Zoe 101, one of this guy's shows. I also worked in his production department as an intern on iCarly, and I worked in the writer's room on Sam & Cat and Victorious. This Max documentary that was recently released did a really good job of uncovering the details of workplace toxicity, specifically on Dan Schneider's shows for Nickelodeon. We could talk about the massages. We could talk about the fact that he would literally count his gold coin collection in front of his crew who was living paycheck to paycheck. We could talk about how sometimes he would bring out a shotgun to scare one of the writers when they were working at his house.
Now, that is one crazy claim. Do I believe it? I mean, it is Dan Schneider. so I wouldn't be that surprised if it does turn out to be real. Now, once again, referencing my last video, he does talk about how he used to scream at people, how he would lose his temper, how he wasn't the best boss, despite the fact that other people were really good to him when he was coming up as a producer, director, and he hates the fact that he couldn't repay the favor because he treated a lot of his staff bad. Like, I don't know if Dan Schneider is going to release a part 2 because more and more stuff is coming out about him. We gotta get Tebow out of that place. He's not a good interviewer. He asked the softest questions one could imagine. The questions I would ask is, are these claims that you were counting your gold coins in front of the writers who are living paycheck to paycheck real? Are those claims real? Is it true that you love feed? And of course, the biggest elephant in the room, the whole Ariana Grande sexualization over the years. And that interview really didn't address a lot of the big things people want to know. It feels like every 48 hours there's a new update regarding Dan Schneider. The Dan Schneider 1.4 update, shotgun allegation.
Talk about the high-level conversations I wasn't supposed to hear about how Nickelodeon didn't want to recommend antidepressants for Jeanette McCurdy after her mom died for fear that she might kill herself and make the network look bad. But what I do want to talk about is never letting this stuff happen again. This is an entire industry built on hope and dreams and adrenaline and wish fulfillment. And that can be a very dangerous thing for megalomaniacs to wield. Even in posting this, I'm a little afraid. Is this going to screw up my career moving forward? I have no idea, but I think it's important and it needs to be said. Because if my silence ensures the perpetuation of environments I don't want to work in anymore, then what is the point of working in them? And until Homeboy goes on 60 Minutes to answer some questions from some real journalists and not a cast member of his who he's paying to be there, apology not accepted.
And I'm inclined to believe him because at this point, if you told me that Dan Schneider fucked a baby turtle in front of the whole iCarly cast, I would believe it, okay? Like, this guy has one of the worst reputations, and I get it, right? Don't believe everything you see or hear. Wait for the other side of the story. I get that, and I'm for that. Okay, prove me wrong, then. Actually, don't prove me wrong. Prove everyone wrong, especially the people that you've heard. Prove them wrong, that they're lying for whatever reason. I don't know, clout, 15 seconds of fame, whatever you guys want to call it. Stop with the corny, safe interviews. We all know what you're doing. In a way, it's kind of insulting that he thinks he could get fucking Tebow, the smoothie worker, and make this sad, hard-hitting interview about Dan Schneider. And thank you so much, Dan Schneider, for giving me time out of your busy day. He has nothing going on. He hasn't worked on anything important in years, okay? No one's hiring him. But at this point, who would want to work with Dan Schneider? Who would want to put him in the credits of their show, movie, whatever? That's one thing I hated about the interview, that it makes it seem like he's so busy and he's gracing us with his time and presence. Thank you for giving us 19 minutes of the worst, safest questions possible. I found this tweet from 2013, and this is from the Salmon Cat account. Salmon Cat tomorrow, right on the bottom of your foot, take a pic and use hashtag SalmonCatSaturday. We'll retweet and follow until our fingers are sore. Got sore, my bad. Asking your fans to take pictures of their feet. And this is not a fake parody account. That is one hell of a request right there. Asking your extremely underage fans to take a picture of their feet and send them online. Especially considering most of the people who were watching this show were like 8 years old. Like, what? But guys, it just doesn't stop.
Dan seemed like he was untouchable. But around 2017, the internet videos around Dan really started gaining momentum.
He made them do things that were very weird.
There are all these setups that reference porn. Like squirting goo on Jamie Lynn's face when she's just 13 years old.
Feel these kids' feet. Wow, they're really soft.
People were looking.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah, this episode, I remember watching it as a kid, and it was one of the weirdest things ever. Like, in case you guys don't know, this is a Victorious episode where they have these fishes who give you the softest feet possible. I think that was like Dan Schneider's wet dream come true. Just all these actresses showing their feet for the whole episode, or what felt like the whole episode. Yeah, this was definitely a Dan Schneider wet dream. Absolutely.
Old scenes and saying Dan Schneider is obsessed with feet.
Check this out.
It's all very gross and foul.
Impossible to escape children's feet.
Dan Schneider.
Absolutely disgusting.
He's a grown-ass man. What the are you doing?
There's one video of Ariana Grande making a joke about a potato.
Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato.
I don't know if I can show that, because that is a bit weird, and I don't want this video or my whole channel to be taken down, so you could imagine what happens. It's just something that didn't need to be filmed in the first place. And I know that it was a web exclusive, but it's still weird.
I worked with an incredibly emotionally abusive producer.
I did not feel safe around Dan Schneider while I was working at Nickelodeon.
All of this information has made us wonder what was happening behind the scenes.
You know, this has me thinking, was Dan Schneider the Harvey Weinstein of like Nickelodeon? And there's a lot of people who are asking, well, why didn't they speak out sooner? When you're in the industry, you don't want to rub people the wrong way, because then if you speak out, oh, we look at that, you've been replaced, or once the show is over, you're not going to be able to work anywhere else because you're going to be blacklisted. And especially in the early 2000s when he had control of everything. Can you imagine if any of these young actresses or actors spoke out against Dan Schneider? Especially back then, the culture was way different. They would have canceled the show, they would have replaced them, they would have fired them, and they would have told them, yeah, for speaking out, you will never in a million years be able to work here again, or any other industry. And considering he was a power-hungry freak, yeah, it makes sense why a lot of people didn't speak out or they were scared. Now, before we go, I want to take a look at this video. It's going crazy viral. It says, well, Josh Peck showed himself to be a complete dirtbag. He posted this video presumably about Drake Bell and is blocking anyone who asks him if it's about Drake.
If I haven't talked to you since 2023, take that as a fucking sign that you don't exist to me anymore. Damn, you fucking bug. You got sprayed with the raid. Bye.
Yeah, I liked Josh when he was fatter. And as you can imagine, yeah, people are not rocking with this video. They're extremely pissed. And then we get this video, and this is Drake Bell letting everyone know that Josh Peck has personally reached out.
This is really, you know, processing this and going through this is a really emotional time, and a lot of it's very, very difficult. So not everything is put out to the public, but I just want you guys to know that he has reached out to me, and it's been very sensitive, but he has reached out to talk with me and help me work through this, and has been really, really great. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, and to take it a little easy on him.
I'm glad Drake could be the bigger man, because it would have been extremely easy for Drake to, you know, attack Josh or make fun of him, because right now everyone's on his side. It's tragic what he went through with that disgusting fucking freak that took advantage of Drake Bell when he was like 13, 14 years old. I'll say it again, anyone who harms kids deserves the electric chair. I don't care if that's a hot take. I don't care if fucking weirdos online are going to defend, are gonna be like, no, pedophiles should get treatment. No, lock them away, put them in the electric chair, okay? Jail is not enough. They've potentially ruined a kid's life because of their sick desires. No, they don't deserve justice. They deserve the electric chair. Anyways, guys, a lot more shit has been going on since, you know, the last time I talked about Dan Schneider, the whole Nickelodeon situation. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading them. Before you go, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. We're so close to have 1 million subscribers. Don't forget to like, share, and yeah, I'll let you go. Thank you so much. I love you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.